True Blue Nation. Dodgers Report.
Honestly, I don't know if I should laugh or be genuinely concerned about what's coming out of Boston this morning, because the hot stove season just hit a level of absurdity that requires us to sit down and analyze the cold, hard facts before we freak out. Anthony Banda's name is circulating heavily within the back offices of Fenway Park, and it looks like the Boston Red Sox have decided that the solution to their pitching woes lies squarely in our championship bullpen. The intel coming in from Jay Staff over at Just Baseball is that the Red Sox are eyeing our lefty as the ideal piece to stop the bleeding in their pitching staff, and the hypothetical proposal on the table is something that makes any member of the Blue Crew scratch their head and ask if Andrew Friedman is just playing 4D chess, or if we are severely underestimating the value of a guy who helped us hoist the trophy. If you want to understand the truth behind these negotiations and not just swallow whatever the mainstream media throws on your screen, you need to subscribe to True Blue Nation right now, because we dissect what actually matters without the filter. The core idea is sending Anthony Banda to Boston in exchange for infielder David Hamilton and pitching prospect Juan Valera. Let's look at the cold numbers. Banda is under team control for 2 more years, which is gold in modern baseball, and he delivered a solid 3.14 ERA during his time wearing Dodger blue. We saw what he did. The guy was a journeyman, bouncing from team to team without sticking until he landed in the hands of our pitching department and turned into a legitimate high-leverage piece. Boston's argument is obvious. They only have 2 lefties in their bullpen and are desperate for someone who can retire heavy-hitting lefties in the American League East. But the question is, why would we do this? The logic behind trading a proven bullpen arm who just came off a World Series title campaign has to be based on selling high. We know how our front office's mind works. They take a discredited pitcher, fix his mechanics, tweak the usage of his slider or fastball, extract maximum value, and when the market realizes that value, they flip him for future pieces that keep the machine turning. It is cold, it is calculated, but that is how we stay on top. However, Banda isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. He brought an intensity and an inning-eating capability that saved our taxed bullpen multiple times last season. Giving that up now, when we are assembling the roster to defend the title, seems risky unless the front office knows something about his health or the sustainability of his performance that we don't. Before I get into the details of who David Hamilton and Juan Valera are, and if they are worth it, this is the time for you to make sure the notification bell is on, because if this trade goes down in the middle of the night, you're going to be the first to know the full analysis right here on the channel. Looking at the suggested return, David Hamilton is an intriguing name, but does he solve any of our problems? He is a speed infielder, that type of player who steals bases and creates chaos, but our infield is already congested, and frankly, we need bats that put the ball in play with authority, not just runners. Hamilton might be on the bubble to make Boston's 40-man roster, which means they might be trying to offload a roster crunch problem by trading him for real value. As for Juan Valera, he is the classic lottery ticket. He is a right-handed pitcher, very young, still a teenager, who throws in the 90 miles per hour range. Scouts indicate he has a high ceiling, but he had a rough season in High A, which dimmed his shine a bit in prospect rankings. The question hammering in my head is whether it is worth trading the certainty of a lefty reliever who has already proven he can handle the pressure of October for a depth infielder and a pitcher who may or may not reach the big leagues 4 years from now. The free agent market for lefty pitchers is inflated. If we let Banda walk, we will have to pay a premium to replace that production, or trust that Mark Pryor and the coaching staff can work magic again with another veteran cast-off. There is an argument that reliever value is the most volatile thing in the sport. One year, the guy is untouchable. The next year, he can't find the strike zone. Selling Anthony Banda now, while his value is at its peak after the World Series title, is the kind of cold-blooded move that defines the Friedman era. If they believe that Juan Valera, with some tweaks in our pitching factory, can become a mid-rotation starter or an elite closer in the future, then the trade makes sense in the long run. But for the fan who wants to see a repeat in 2026, losing a stable bullpen piece hurts. We saw how much we suffered with injuries last year. Having depth isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And handing a healthy arm to the Red Sox, who historically love feasting on our leftovers or making trades that look small and turn out big, makes me hesitant. The Red Sox desperately need this, and when the other team is desperate, the price has to go up. David Hamilton and Valera seem light. If we are giving up a reliable lefty, I want to see a bullpen arm coming back or a prospect who is closer to contributing, not long-term projects. At the end of the day, this boils down to how much we trust our ability to develop new talent versus the need to win right now. I look at this proposal and I see unnecessary risk for marginal gain. What do you think, Dodger fans? Do you trust the front office can turn these kids into stars? Or do you think we are handing gold to Boston in exchange for empty promises? Give me the real talk in the comments right now.